right, Danielle.
The meeting tonight is for the conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate in the items marked on the agenda, public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you. Can you please rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all those men and women who sacrificed their lives for us so we could serve our country, our state, and of course our town. Thank you. All right, so Sharon is away on business today, and Eddie is still not feeling well. So it's just the 3 of us today, and that's enough to have a meeting, which is good. So I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the September 11th, 2023 Town Board meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the September 11th, 2022 Town Board meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Authorized payment of bills, $170,147.55. I need a motion to pay the bills.
I make the motion to authorize payment of the bills of $170,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Supervisor updates, I'll give you a few. If everybody hasn't seen, the contractor that we approved a few meetings back is starting to move on the exterior part of the community center. The windows should be coming in and delivered on the 28th, so they'll start putting those in. There's a motion on the agenda tonight for the doors to come in and be ordered. And then I did finalize a settlement agreement with Arch Insurance Company for the general construction, which is more the interior now. And that's on the agenda tonight for approval. So we're behind, but we're starting to slowly move forward. And the goal is to obviously get the exterior buttoned up before winter hits. And then the interior, they can finish up throughout the winter. And the goal at this point now is to open by spring. So that's where we're at with the community center. Docking, this is the time of the year we're going to start seeing ships coming in down at the pier. We just got confirmation from Sea Streak and American Cruise Line. And actually American Cruise Line as of today just gave us their 2024 schedule. So they're way ahead of time. They built 2 new ships just for the Hudson River. They're going to start next year, and next year they have 24 cruises, I believe, as of right now. So, and they're going to actually have a cruise in June. So that's a first. So they're going to try out a June cruise. I think they have 3 cruises in June up the Hudson, and then from there they'll decide if they'll start doing it in future years in June, July, maybe August, depending on how it does. But most of their cruises with Sea Streak are in October, November, in that time frame. But it's good to see it going. If everybody hasn't seen, the kayak launch was installed a few weeks ago with the help of our highway department. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. They actually poured the foundation for the kayak launch to attach to, and then they actually helped the company with their representative install it. And that's a good thing because they're going to be uninstalling it every year. So we wanted to make sure they understood how to put it in and how to take it out. It's on a hinge, so it's not too difficult, but it is something that's going to need heavy machinery to take care of. We also have the bid out for the North Pier. That's going to be coming back shortly. We also have the bid out for the Milton Landing Park. Tomorrow is going to be a walkthrough. with contractors, and Danielle said we got quite a few, which is pretty good. The more, the better. So a lot of things are happening all at once, and it's taken almost all year to lead up to this. But so, of course, everything's happening at once in October and then going into November. But, you know, that's just how things happen. So we are moving forward on that. I believe we're also going to have the county executive, Danielle, come down here and do her budget proposal on October 6th or 3rd, one of those days. We'll have it on our website and on our Facebook page, but they asked if they could use our facilities, and I think it works out. It's on a Tuesday, I believe, and they want to come maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, but again, we'll have it on our website when we confirm the times. But they're going to do an hour-long presentation of their budget, so I thought that was good that they wanted to come down here. I've been talking to Senator Henchy. She was going to come down October 5th, but I can't make that day, so she might be coming down on the 31st. So if she does, I'll make sure the board members know. And I also invited her to the trunk or treat. So if anybody doesn't know, trunk or treat this year is October 28th at the park. It's on our Facebook page, it's on our website. If you want to get information, there's flyers out there. You could still sign up for the trunks. We're pushing to get about 35 to 40 this year. Last year, I think we had about, I don't know, Dave, what did we have, about 25 or 26? So we're pushing to get more this year. We're having help this year. We're combining Community Day with Trunk or Treat Day. So that's all going to be combined. So police are going to be there helping. The highway are going to be there helping. There's going to be free giveaways. There's going to be a whole bunch of things going on. So, you know, we're anticipating probably 1,000 people showing up for this event. So it's always a big day. Hopefully we have great weather. And I think that's it for now. So a lot of busy things going on, and we're moving forward, and that's the main thing, is we're moving forward. Oh, and if you didn't notice, and Mickey, you might want to hear this one. So we are installing a new flagpole at the Cluett-Chance Park where the old tree was, where we decorated it with Christmas lights, right, every year, that died. So what we're going to be using is the actual flagpole from Tomback for that spike, because it's big, and I want to make sure we can see it. But on top of that, the guys are coming up. I asked them if they could do this, and they're like more than happy to try to figure it out, is to try to make it also a Christmas tree during the winter time. So like have a pulley system where you can bring up lights and it kind of forms a tree, and then of course throughout the year it'll have a flag on it. And then Tomback, we will put a new flagpole, and we still have the monument to put in front of it. So I think it's going to be a pretty cool idea when we get it all complete. But the guys already poured the foundation, and the pad was poured the other day, and it's got to cure for like 30 days, and then we'll get the pole up, and hopefully it stays up. But we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot of good things right now. So I just want to thank the board for all their support, and I want to thank our highway department for all that they do whenever we ask them, and of course our police department and everybody else at Town Hall, like Danielle and Colleen, and they do great. And we're in the middle of budget, so I could not say not thank you to Chris Pulliam.
In the water department, Charlie.
Charlie department, the water department, that guy never says no. So these are all guys we could all count on. So, you know, we can never thank everybody enough, Tommy, everybody. So, we have a great team, and I just wanted to point that out in my supervisor report, because I can never say it enough that the public maybe doesn't realize what these guys do, but I surely do. So I will, we'll get you at public comment, if that's all right.
It's just the date on the website for the trunk or treat. It says the 29th, which is a Sunday.
I think it's the 28th, right? The flyer's the 28th, right, Danielle?
Right.
I don't know. Well, that's the person to tell right there, because she does the website. But the flyer should say the 28th. It's a Saturday. Should be, if I'm right. We'll double check that. We'll double check. All right, that's all I have. Presentations, I don't have any presentations tonight. Anybody have any comments on our agenda? That want any specifically on the agenda? All right. New business, so I need a motion from the board. This, as I told you, we were in the middle of the budget season. How the budget season works, we have a tentative budget. We have to accept the tentative budget as proposed. It's not going to be the final or anything like that, but we have to present it to the town clerk, and they put it on record that this is our tentative. I could tell you we're in fairly good shape right now as a board. I will be sending you out updates on where we're actually at and what we're spending and what we're putting. But right now, I'm about 2.9%, which I got to get that down a little. But for tentative, that's a pretty good number to be at right now. So, because what happens is everybody comes in with their wish list, and I say, okay, put it all in there.
You do have those,
Yeah, we got a lot of wish lists.
the pickleball.
We got pickleball in there.
Okay.
I got a lot of stuff in for the park this year, so, matter of fact, we got about $85,000 in for the park budget for pickleball, redoing the basketball courts, putting the shed up at the top. We got a $100,000 grant to help us put lights at the baseball field, so we have to put an additional amount of money. So we're trying to do this without raising taxes. Obviously, recreational funds we have from developers that come into town, they have to pay recreation fees, and we have a good amount of money in our recreation fund. But how you have to budget for it, you actually have to budget for what you want to spend, and then you offset it with those recreation fees. So it's a net neutral to the budget.
Scott, I got a comment since we're talking on the
Yep.
park. I was at the park last week, I don't know which day it was, Wednesday, Thursday. Regardless, I was there with a friend, we had lunch, and then
Yep.
I was walking around, but then I had to go to the bathroom, and all the bathrooms were locked.
The one bathroom was locked because we had an issue there. So, should be fixed now, because the
Oh,
electric.
okay, so
It-
it's
it's
last
fixed.
week, or?
Yep. Yeah, because the electric went out when we had the storm, and so you couldn't use the bathrooms, because there's a pump system.
okay.
So they had to lock the one set of bathrooms.
It's
I knew
open
there
now.
was a good reason. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody knows we've been having a lot of storms lately. We don't just get rainstorms, we get, catastrophic storms. And every time we had, the last one came through, it affected Milton, Hamlet mostly, Plattekill, and Lloyd. And there was a lot of outages along the area, and the park is one of them that got hit pretty good, so. But we have a very good representative, Jason, at Central Hudson. Within 25, 35 minutes, he was already texting me, telling me what's going on, what's going to happen. It did take 2 days.
2 days, he was there in 2 days.
It did take 2 days rather than the 24 hours, but, the park and stuff like that is like last on their list when they got to get residents back online. So they did a good job, So I'm going to need a motion
All right,
to accept the tentative budget of 2024.
All right, I'm make a motion to move forward with the tentative budget of 2024.
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. All right, and then we have to change the town board meeting from October 9th, which is Columbus Day and the town hall is closed, to October 10th, 2023, which is a Tuesday. So I need a motion to change our next board meeting to October 10th.
Okay, I make a motion to move our October 9th meeting to October 10th of 2023.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Workshop topics, I don't have anything specific. If the board members have anything they'd want to discuss, we can. It's an open board discussion. I can tell you today I did receive attorney documents from the owner of Young's Field, and we're starting to move through the process on that donation, so we're at that point. I'm hoping by next meeting, possibly the next, once we get all the agreements in place, I could have that for the board to accept. Mary Beth King's here in the audience, probably at the next meeting too. They are donating the little parcel of property at the dog park down at Sands Avenue, which they have a garage on, which is going to be a good addition to the park down there, so we have some storage now. We're going to be removing fencing and then putting some new fencing up. The highway guys are on board to do a lot of this work with us. We already called the tree trimming guy. We have to trim some trees and But we thank you, and we'll have a nice little thing at our next meeting, as long as all the paperwork's 100%. We'll double check, but I think it is. So there's a lot of, like, again, there's a lot of good things going on. There has been a lot of good things coming up, and they're all coming to a head within this month, which is a good thing. So Young's Park will be an addition to our parks that we currently have. And the reason why we had conversation with the owner of Young's Park is because he's separating a lot of properties and he's selling a lot of properties, and we really didn't want to see Young Park go away. And I know the individual personally from my childhood, and I had a conversation with him and asked him if he would donate this parcel to the town so it can stay Young's Park in perpetuity forever. And if it's a town-owned property, it will. And I said even put that into the documents that it has to stay this way, and that's how we wrote it. So a future board couldn't come in and say, no, we're going to sell it or do something with it. This way the kids have somewhere to always have a baseball field and have something to play. And that also works into, for the grant that we requested from the county, Young's Park is part of that, to put lights on there for the kids too. So like at this time of the year, when they're trying to play at 6, 7 o'clock at night, it gets dark. It's a little dangerous. Now they would actually have some lights for them. So they're currently actually renting lights, Marlborough Youth Baseball, and it's quite an expense. So if we can get this done, it would help them. So again, those are just things that are going on in the background that we should start to see come forward for the board, along with budget. So you guys have anything else? If not, we'll...
No, I was just going to question the date of that trunk or treat. What, was that on the website, Mary Beth, or the?
Yeah.
So I just went on Facebook. It does say the 28th, but you're saying it's on the website, says the 29th?
So it's like Saturday on April.
Yeah, all right, we'll check.
Yeah, I know the flyer said the 28th.
Yeah, well, the Facebook post is 28th, so.
Yeah. So maybe Danielle put it on the 29th. I don't know. We'll fix that. But it's the 28th if anybody's listening out there. Don't come on the 29th because...
Oh, that's all right. If you want to go last year, then we're good.
What happened?
That was last year's advertisement.
Behind there. Okay. Correspondence. I got a couple correspondence here. Gotta shut my phone off here. Dear Supervisor Corcoran and the Town of Marlborough Town Board, on behalf of Frank Alexander and all of the dancers who participated, I would like to thank you and the board for graciously allowing us to use the Cluett Chance Park Pavilion for our summer line dancing program. There was a great turnout and everyone enjoyed the line dancing. I would ask that you and the board consider adding a summer line dance program back into the budget for next year. The summer line dance program had been in the budget in prior years. Mr. Alexander would be interested in running the program again in 2024. My phone number is, and I won't say, and this is sincerely Kathy Sylvester. And Frank Alexander is the person who actually did the line dancing with them. Currently, I don't have it in the budget. We used to have a line dancing line in the budget, and we used to pay the person directly from town monies. The reason I don't have it in the budget, because I think it's been working good the way it's been working, we allow them to use the facility, and then whoever wants to show up can pay him the little amount of money that he requests. I think it's direct. That means anybody from outside our community could even use it without using taxpayer dollars. So if the board wants me to put some money in there and contact him, I can, but I just think it works good the way it's been working. So we're out of it as far as we're just allowing you to use the facility. So as of now, that's the way I left it, and I'll talk to Frank about it further. So this one is from Marlborough Youth Football and Cheerleading. Supervisor Corcoran, Town Board, as a youth organization within the town of Marlborough, our numbers of registrations continue to grow, and so does our needs for additional fields at this time of the year and field with lights. Be assured our insurance is on file, and we will advise all participants to respect the park rules. We would therefore ask to use the pavilion field with lights beginning September 25th through November 11th. We would require the following time slots: Tuesday through Friday evenings, 5:30 to 8. If you have any questions regarding the above, require additional information, or would require assistance in whatever manner, please contact me, and that's Thomas Corcoran Jr., Marlborough Youth Football and Cheerleading. So they've done it in the past, and they're using like basically the soccer field behind the pavilion, which we have lights on already. We had and I think the reason he put that in there, we had a few issues with the bathroom in the past, and we asked him to make sure they monitor the kids. So I would need a motion to allow Marlborough Youth Football and Cheerleading to use the dates beginning September 25th through November 11th, 2023.
I make a motion to allow to Marlborough Youth use the facility from September to November.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay, this is from the Marlborough Arts Coalition, requesting the use of the train station. Hi, Scott. The Marlborough Arts Coalition is on the schedule to use the Milton Landing train station from October 17th through October 21st, and again on October 28th. Marco, which is their abbreviation, is requesting that the Marlborough Town Board waive the fees associated with the use of the facility. We have acquired the request insurance coverage and certification in the file, and it's filed at the town's clerk office. Marco is an unincorporated organization not operating for profit, and we expect to incorporate and seek IRS 501c3 status later this year. Our mission is to serve local artists with exhibits and teaching opportunities, and to support the community and visitors with exhibitions and education. The dates requested are selected to overlap with visits both from the American Cruise Line and C Street. As you recall, our exhibit last year overlapped with visits from the National Geographic Sea Lion. The tourists were pleased with our exhibits and considered it when providing positive feedback regarding their time in Marlborough. We also received positive press from the Southern Ulster Times. As we did last year, we will also promote our exhibits locally and will welcome our residents and their guests. Please consider this request at your earliest convenience. Thank you. And this is from Jerry Wine. So they did this last year. It was a very big success. Again, as he said, we overlapped that with the cruises docking there and staying there. So as they get off the cruise, they could come into the train station. They could see local exhibits. There are some items for purchase. So it's a really good thing for the locals, and I think it's a great idea, and I fully support it. So I'm personally going to make a motion to waive the fees for the Marlborough Arts Coalition requests for the use of the train station for the dates that they put in their letter. And I just need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. They're good to go. We'll let Jerry know. Oh, thank you. It's a good thing. You guys do a good thing. So good. All right. Public comment. Anytime anybody got a public comment, or we're going to make a quick meeting maybe. Oh, come on up, sir. Come on up. Right up to the mic. I like public comments, actually. You're welcome.
My name is
State your name for the clerk.
Yes, thank you. My name is David Diaz. I'm a longtime resident of 105 Mount Rose Road.
Yep.
I wanted to inquire about a notification I got that the town is looking for an attorney.
Oh, we have an attorney.
All right. I just wanted to state my support for that. The problems up there have been ongoing for the spring and summer.
Yeah.
Just a quick lowdown with my own personal experience and other neighbors that I've spoken to of the increased traffic on small roads, blocking private driveways. I'm sure you were aware, I don't know if anyone in attendance of the bus incident
Yep.
that happened. Trespassers walking on private properties, the noise going on past the sound ordinance.
Yeah.
And just for me, the blatant disrespect to the town and
Well,
the residents.
That's what it is. It's a blatant disrespect for the law of the town you're living in and you're trying to make a business in, right? You know, and your neighbors, right?
Right.
Be courteous to your neighbors, you know. There's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. Currently, they're doing it in the way you're not supposed to do it, right? So we have to go through a legal process, unfortunately. We don't have cease and desist orders just to have them physically stop. So we have to actually take it to the Supreme Court. Of course, that costs money, but it's money that we're going to spend because you just don't blatantly break the law in the town and you just think you're going to get away with it. At least I know this board is not going to allow that to happen. So we already have the lawyers involved, and it's going to move forward. So
Okay.
I can't say much more, but there's things that are happening, and it's moving forward, and we're doing step-by-step things we're supposed to do. So, I apologize for what's going on, and I wish I could stop it tomorrow, but unfortunately, I cannot yet. But hopefully, we'll get a resolve to it. And, if they just come to the planning board, and they could get some site plan approval, and they could understand what they can and can't do, and where they can operate, and for the parking, and noise, and when they can operate. It's not that they can't do things. It's that they have to have a site plan approval for what they can do, so.
But just keep in mind too, when this goes to the planning board, you have the right to come into public hearing and voice
Yeah.
your
absolutely.
issues.
Oh, he'll be
And if I were you, I would get my neighbors to do the same. The more people that come out, the more they're gonna be heard, and we'll be forced to enforce it.
Yeah.
There are gonna be a lot of stipulations if they can even do what they wanna do.
Right. Yeah,
But
we're in the
that's where you
process
wanna come out and voice.
Notifications will be sent to you when that happens,
Right.
when they get to that point. But right now, to get them to that point is
Right.
the challenge.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
No, thank you. Okay. All right. Then we're gonna get right to, oh, we got someone
Got
else?
another.
Come on up. Thank you. Sorry. How you doing tonight?
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Veronica Ivaniga. I'm the president of Marlborough Arts
Oh.
Coalition.
Nice to meet you.
And we have sort of in the development stage some projects that we would like to interface with the town, one of which is an apple parade. And I don't know if you are familiar with any of the art exhibits that are like, let's see, up in Port Ewan, they have the tugboats. It started with the cow parade years ago. And so we would like to work with local businesses. And I know that part of your comprehensive plan is to create pathways. So I just would like you all to kind of keep in mind some of what we're doing as our art culture and try and interface with the town with the walkways or the parks. So the apple parade, we're really pricing out the apples and really thinking about the methods of what we're going to do later with the sculptures. But basically the local artists will design, something that's signature of their artwork to an apple. And we'll try and get some of the apple farms, some of that part of the agro-tourism involved as well.
Yeah.
But we would like to actually do some of it in the public areas, maybe in the parks.
Yeah.
So,
Just gotta
Have you
get us
talked
some.
to me in Marlborough with Sheila? Have you talked to her about it?
we actually just became members
Okay.
as an organization with them, so.
So
we're-
I'm not following what you're saying. So you do artwork and you wanna place it in different areas of the town? Is that what you wanna do?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
the
All right.
local artists would create, some artwork on an apple, basically. And then it would be a sculpture that would be,
Displayed somewhere?
displayed. And I think perhaps for the apples, we could even do it where they're hanging instead of posts in the ground.
Yeah.
I've been working on I do sculpture, so I've been kind of working on the design of how we actually create these and how we hang them, how they're mounted. But there's many areas that we have, like the park down by the train station, that walkway, any of the parks that we have, or even areas just along the 9W corridor.
I mean, I think it's a good idea, just that we have to get some more information as far as, like, maybe you could give us some kind of a slideshow presentation, what you want to do. And the only thing I would say too is you just got to be careful when you display stuff out in public. As we all know, when you put stuff out in public, people like to destroy.
I
So you have
understand.
to be careful where
Let's
we
be
display.
positive, Scott.
Well,
I'm positive, but I also want to be, I don't want to,
Or you
I
wanna
want to be,
be-
I want to make
You
sure
wanna
that
be
they
practical
understand.
too. I mean,
Yeah, I want to make sure we're putting them in spots that we could
Monitor.
monitor,
Sure, yeah,
Right.
no, I understand.
right? I mean, we do have a lot of cameras in all our parks now, so we can monitor a lot of things depending on where we put them. But I would say, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a cool idea. I mean, Marlborough is apples, right? So,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot
Apples
of-
and grapes.
A lot of farmers. But I'm confused, you said apple parade?
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that's kind of the
can
way
you,
that they
like,
refer to
Elaborate
this.
on that?
It's a repetitive object that then artists create something of their own. And then usually at the end of the year, these items go up for auction at some sort of gala event.
So you mentioned this, the boats in Kingston.
Right. so
They've
that's
been
one
up
of
for,
them,
they've
or
been
the
up for quite a
horses.
while.
They've been there for a while,
Yeah.
and I think they do them every year. They
Okay.
change them. So, then there's, Saugerties has the horses,
yeah.
you know, so I think Marlborough should have the apples.
Yeah.
So,
I
Sure.
mean, yeah, like I said, if you could get a presentation together for the board, so we could actually visually see some kind of idea what you're talking about, where you want to put them, how you want to display them and stuff like that, so we could kind of understand where it is.
yeah,
And,
we will. We're in the development stage
Yeah.
right now, but I just wanted to put it out there because I know that you're working on some of, you know, the planning of the parks and, you know, what
Yeah.
you're doing. So maybe just keep some of that in mind. And also, you know, public art, we're very involved with public art as well. So, you know, any opportunity that we have to work with the town.
Well, I've been asking Jerry Wine for a year. I told him I need pictures for my office
We're
to
working on
display the
that.
town.
Yeah.
I know he is, he is, he said, but, yeah, I want to display things in the town that represent our town, and I want it so when people come in my office, and I have a lot of meetings in my office, that they actually see what the town represents, right? You know, which is farming community, right?
Right.
Which is a big part of it. But we are more than just a farming community too, so, you know, but if we could do that, I'd be very happy.
Well, we're planning on setting up some of the work that's available for you to look
Yeah.
at Frida's. So
Okay,
we'll
good.
let you know when
that's
it's all up and when you can go at your leisure to decide what you want to put up in your offices.
Yeah, that'd
These
be
are
great.
good seats, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, anybody else before I go on? All right. And then we're going to get into our resolutions, and we have a few of them tonight, so let's start with resolution number 90. Resolution number 90 is to hold a public hearing on the 2024 budget. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following: be it resolved that consistent with the town law, section 108, a public hearing on 2024 preliminary budget will be held on October 10th, 2023 at 7 p.m. and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Cowkey?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 91, authorize the town board to set a public hearing and to declare intent to act as lead agency and to refer to the planning board and the Ulster County Department of Planning the application of SDL Marlborough LLC for a proposed petition for a zoning text amendment. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following: whereas on about September 8, 2023, SDL Marlborough LLC, the applicant, by its attorney, submitted a petition for the zoning text amendment, the town board of the town of Marlborough, and whereas the applicant seeks to amend Chapter 155, Article 6, supplementary regulations governing certain uses, Section 155-30B, design standards of the town of Marlborough zoning code, and whereas the following amendment is proposed to be added to Article 4, Section 155-30B, and consists of the following underlining text to be added: Section 155-30, multiple dwellings. B, design standards. Number 4 would be added. For properties of 20 acres or more, the minimum distance between structures for multifamily dwelling where there are 2 or more structures on a single lot devoted to multiple dwellings, the minimum distance between structure foundations shall not be less than 15 feet and shall follow the New York State Residential Building Code. Whereas the applicant is classified as a Type 1 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and is implementing regulations 6 NYCRR Part 617 SECRA, and whereas the town board shall declare the intent to be lead agency pursuant to 6 NYCRR Part 617 for the review of the petition to amend the zoning code. And whereas upon receipt of petition to amend the zoning code, such a petition is submitted by SDL Marlborough LLC, the town board is required to refer said application to the planning board for review and recommendation pursuant to section 155-49 of the town code. And whereas section 155-49 of the town code requires the planning board within a minimum of 30 days of receipt of the application from the town board to issue its report before the required public hearing occurs. Whereas the town board desires to declare an intent to act as lead agency for the coordinated review of the application under SECR, and 2, direct the town to circulate notice of its intent to all involved and interested agencies, and 3, refer the application to the planning board for its review and recommendation pursuant to Town Code 155-48 and 155-49. See how long stuff takes to do for government? Now therefore it be resolved that 1, the town board declares this, see you repeat yourself 5 times. The town board declares itself to act as lead agency for the coordinated review of SECR for SBL Marlborough LLC petition for the zoning text amendment, and 2, the town is directed to circulate notice of intent to act as lead agency for the application for all involved and interested agencies pursuant to 6 NYCRR Part 617, and 3, the town board refers SBL Marlborough LLC petition for a zoning text amendment to the planning board for its review and recommendation pursuant to Town Code Section 155-49, and 4, the town board hereby sets a public hearing in relation to the proposed changes set forth in the from the notice hereinafter provided, which is hearing parties and interests of citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard, to be held at the Town Hall, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, on November 13th, 2023 at 7 p.m. prevailing time. And 5, the town board directs the notice of said meeting shall be published in the official newspaper of general circulation in the town of Marlborough by the town clerk at least 10 days prior to such hearing and in the form provided below. And the town board directs the town clerk to notify the town clerks of each of the surrounding municipalities of the public hearing pursuant of GML 239-NN. And 7, the town board directs the town clerk to notify the Department of County Planning pursuant of GML 239-M. This is the public notice. I'm not going to read it. It's typical public notice that the meeting is going to be on November 13th at the town hall at 7 o'clock. Take further notice that copies of the aforesaid proposal local law will be available for examination at the office of the town clerk of the town of Marlborough at the town hall, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on all business days between the date of this notice and the date of the public hearing. Take further notice that all persons interested in citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard in said proposal at the time and the place aforesaid. And the foregone resolution was voted upon with all council person voting as follows.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes.
Councilman Cowkey?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
We're getting there. Resolution 92, to approve and ratify commencement of an action of adjoining code violations. Here you go. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the town board of the town of Marlborough has been advised by building inspector that Adam H.J. Bronza, owner of 20 Mount Rose Road, town of Marlborough, New York, section block and lot number 109.1-4-57, the premises violated town code sections 155-31 and 155-31B, and whereas the town board has been requested to approve a commencement of injunction against the Ulster County Supreme Court to enforce the town of Marlborough Town Code as against the premises owner, the action, and whereas the town board of the town of Marlborough finds that it is in the best interest of the town to retain the legal services of Vanderwater and Vanderwater LLP to provide legal advice and litigation services for this action at a rate of $285 per hour plus disbursements. Now therefore it be resolved that the town board approves and ratifies commencement of an action to enjoin code violations by Adam H.J. Bronza, owner of 20 Mount Rose, Town of Marlborough, New York, and be it further resolved that the Town Board authorize the supervisor to retain Vanderwater and Vanderwater LLP to provide legal services for this action, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Coppi?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes. Resolution 93, to a second emergency estimate for the installation of exterior doors. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas Bell Engineer have prepared bid documents for the Town of Marlborough Community Rec Center Phase 2 alterations rebid general construction contract. And whereas the Town awarded the general construction contract bid to WND Construction LLC by resolution on August 8, 2022. Whereas WND Construction LLC was unable to complete the construction due to unforeseen circumstances, and as whereas the Town of Marlborough attained 3 emergency estimates according to requirements of the Town of Marlborough procurement policy for installation of exterior doors. And whereas the town received the following estimates: new glass and storefronts, $36,800, diversified glass and mirrors, $41,275, Metro glass and mirrors, $44,100. Whereas the low bidder, New Glass, did not have several items in their estimate, including the electronic strikes, wiring harness, center bar, the door closer, and the automatic door opener. And whereas it is the recommendation of Bell Engineer to accept the second lowest bidder, Diversified Glass, in the amount of $41,275. Be it resolved that the Town of Marlborough accept emergency estimate from Diversified Glass to be completed the installation of the exterior doors, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Coppi?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes. Resolution 94, to appoint a part-time police officer. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the Town of Marlborough Police Department has an open position for part-time police officer, and whereas the recommendation of the Chief of Police and the Public Committee to appoint Brian Levy as the part-time officer, be it resolved that Brian Levy be appointed to effective immediately.
Councilman Coppi?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes.
Hey, Scott, I got one question. For these new emergency contractors that are coming in, are they providing also bonds, or is that waived?
No bond.
No bonds?
There's
just
waived.
Everything's, so it's, everything is just per contract?
Yep.
Okay.
Just on this, when we go to the construction, it'll be different, the interior part. Because I got to get the exterior finished, and I'm not going to, we're pushing the clock here. So, yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. Resolution 95, to appoint a part-time police dispatcher. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the Town of Marlborough Police Department has an open position for a part-time police dispatcher, and whereas it is the recommendation of Chief of Police and the Police Committee to appoint Daniel Erickson as part-time police dispatcher, be it resolved that Danielle Erickson be appointed to effective immediately, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Coppi?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran?
Yes, thank you. Resolution 96, to appoint a full-time police dispatcher. Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas the Town of Marlborough Police Department has an open for a full-time dispatcher position, and whereas Emily Aldred is the current part-time dispatcher, and whereas Emily Aldred has taken and passed the Ulster County Civil Service exam, and whereas the recommendation of the Chief of Police along with the Public Committee to appoint Emily Aldred as a full-time police dispatcher, be it resolved that Emily Aldred be appointed to full-time police dispatcher effective immediately, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Coppi?
Yes.
Councilman Zambito?
Yes.
Yes. Resolution 97, to authorize the supervisor to sign a settlement agreement. And this is the settlement agreement for the construction end. And this is Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, whereas WND Construction entered into a construction contract with the Town of Marlborough, and whereas WND and the Arch Insurance Company executed and delivered a performance bond under SU 1187103 and required. And whereas the Town of Marlborough declared WND in default of their contract, and by a letter dated June 7, 2023, terminated WND contract and called upon Arch Insurance Company to perform pursuant to the terms of the bond. And whereas the Town of Marlborough and Arch Insurance Company have agreed upon a settlement agreement of $380,257.91. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Marlborough hereby authorize the town supervisor to sign a settlement agreement with Arch Insurance Company and moves for its adoption.
Councilman McCaskey?
Yes.
Councilman Mandel?
Yes.
Councilman Berger?
Yes, thank you. Well, that's the end, believe it or not. And anything else? If not, I'm going to give this one to Dave tonight.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.